Hey there, my name's Tammy, and today I'm going to be talking about the 4 things that have really helped me improve my self-love. If you are new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. I am on other platforms at TammyU_wellness if you'd like to connect there. I am a sound healer, a coach, podcaster, and like to do YouTube videos on different topics. So I'm so happy to have you joining me today. Let's talk a little bit about self-love and ourselves. For me, that's something that I definitely have struggled with a lot in my life. As a kid, I remember becoming very insecure at a young age. By 6, I was aware that maybe I wasn't as cute as my cousins, or I was already comparing myself against other people. And I think that definitely impacted, how I walked around in the world and how I thought about myself, of course, because between the ages of 0 to 7, those are where your neural pathways are really formed, as they say. I definitely formed some beliefs about myself. Today, I want to talk to you about some of the things that I've done as an adult to help me improve my self-love. So first off, self-esteem. If I refer to any of these, let's just have the definition ahead of time. So self-esteem is how you feel about yourself based on your achievements and things. Self-worth is your intrinsic value as a person, regardless of external factors. Self-love is defined as appreciating and accepting yourself fully, including your flaws. And having self-compassion is the practice of being kind and understanding towards yourself. First thing I noticed was that I was addicted to a low vibration. So I would purposely look on social media, purposely do things to self-sabotage myself so that I could have those negative feelings, because I was addicted to those negative feelings, and so that I could stay there, because I grew up very kind of sad and depressed as a kid. I was used to feeling like that most of the time. So I would look on social media. I'd purposely look at someone's post because I knew they would post about their whatever, and it would make me feel sad or maybe a little envious, or so I would purposely do these things so I could stay in a low vibration. Once I was aware of that, it clicked. I was like, holy crap. I started to avoid maybe some of these triggers or things, and I started to just not do that. So I was like, okay, we're not going to look at this person's social media or that person's, or we're not going to do this, that, or the other, because I know it's going to make me feel anxious. It's going to make me feel sad. It's going to make me feel depressed. I don't want to feel that. So let's do something productive instead, something positive. I'm going to read a book. The second thing that I've worked on is changing my inner dialogue. So I know some people don't have an inner dialogue, inner voice. My inner dialogue's always chatting and running a mile a minute. I started to change this dialogue. So for example, if there was something that I wasn't able to finish, or I wasn't able to follow through with, let's say I had to put my laundry away and I had to go run to the gym and I had to do this, that, and the other. If I, for some reason, was unable to do that, I didn't have the energy, I was really tired, I couldn't talk myself into it. Instead of beating myself up, which was my pattern, and being like, oh my God, you're so lazy, why can't you do anything right? I started to give myself the self-compassion and understanding of, okay, wait, I think I need to prioritize sleep more so that I can get to the gym, and then we'll get back into the habit. Or I understood okay, you are on your period this week, and from cycle syncing and everything that you are going to be more tired, and you didn't get as much sleep because your sleep is also affected during this week. So let's remember that you're human, and let's pick up tomorrow, and let's try again tomorrow. So it was so helpful to change this voice, because I know it's almost mothering your inner child as well, which is something that I definitely had to work on for sure. So the third thing that I've done is change the way that I speak to myself when I'm doing maybe more vulnerable things, like working out, putting lotion on after the shower, getting out of the shower, looking myself in the mirror. I definitely in the past had the negative view of things. So we do have something called the negativity bias, where we will specifically pick out negative things and see more of the negative. So at one point when I was more depressed or sad, I would pick out these things oh wow, you only did 5 squats instead of 10. Wow, oh look at you have cellulite on your legs. Oh my gosh, your arms look kind of weak or whatever. I would, as I was doing some of these workouts, talk to myself that way. So I really started to become aware and change that voice by instead encouraging myself, wow, like you got up today, you got to the gym and you've done these squats. Great, tomorrow you can try more. I also maybe would say like, oh, like this color like looks really good on you. Like, look, you're getting stronger. Like I see that like in the mirror, you know? Or getting out of the shower, for example, like maybe I'm putting lotion on my body. Old me would have like maybe commented in my head of, oh, like look at the cellulite, or like you're looking a little not as toned. Instead of that, I have practiced so much of the gratitude of like, oh my God, my skin is so beautiful. It's so nice. I love you, body. Like I love you, skin. I love me. And really working on that voice and that dialogue with, wow, like I'm a beautiful person, like whatever it is, whatever affirmation I want to say, that has helped me so much. So definitely being aware of how we are speaking to ourselves in some of maybe these vulnerable situations. So rose-colored glasses too. I've talked to clients about working on when working with them is, okay, let's start with the smallest thing, the smallest compliment, the smallest thing that you can pick about yourself when you're looking in the mirror. What do you love? Like, let's pick something. So for me, it was like, when I was doing this exercise with myself, I would focus on like, oh, I love my eye color. I love my eyes. I like my lips. Like, let's celebrate that as we are starting to work on this confidence and this self-love journey, this self-compassion. Okay, so the final thing that I did is I've stopped making decisions out of scarcity. This has been my 2025 goal, to stop making decisions out of scarcity. So I noticed that with whether it was relationships or jobs, I would always feel like very anxious, and I'd have a lack mindset of like, let's talk about relationships for a second. I'd be like, oh my gosh, well, there's not that many, eligible partners for me, or how often do I meet somebody that, is aligned? Like maybe I should just go on the date with this person. If we don't have something off the bat that like could be a common interest or something besides them just like being attractive or whatever, I'm not gonna go on the date. I'm not gonna pursue it. I'm not gonna entertain it at all, right? For a job example, like I have listed out exactly the things that I'm looking for and that I want. So I am not going to take something that maybe is like, I can compromise in some places, but let's say it is working nights and like I really need to sleep. I'm not going to pick that one. I'm going to pick something, a morning shift. That was not the best example, but just to get that out there. Making decisions that feel aligned. So I'd ask myself, is this like a hell yes? Is this like an absolutely, like, this is so interesting? When I was vetting out these options, I would think, okay, is this a hell yes decision? Yes or no? Is this feeling that I have right now towards this thing, this opportunity, this option? Do I have anxiety? Do I feel scattered? Do I feel rushed? Or do I have like a calm feeling? And another thing I would ask myself is, does it align with what I am looking for? If I said no to like all of those things, then it was probably a decision out of scarcity. So I'm really trying to be more present and to know that like I am worthy of the best, and I know I have to make compromises sometimes, but like I don't have to look at things with a scarcity mindset. I can have an abundance mindset, knowing that the right things will be aligned. That thing will be aligned for me and I'll be aligned for that thing. So thanks so much for joining me on this video. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and stay connected with me at TammyU_wellness. If you'd like to check out the podcast, it's called The Path to Transformation, wherever you find your podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember that this journey towards self-love is a journey. It is not a sprint. So the daily things that we do, the small switches that we make, they can really set us on the right path. So don't forget how amazing you are. You're worthy of the best. And thanks for tuning in.